Right now on News 4 at 6, another hit to Tonawanda Coke. The state says the plant has violated 2 more environmental standards. Here, why activists are saying enough is enough.
Well, many of us have seen at least some sunshine today. You can see at least one break in the cloud cover there over the lake. We're going to see quite a bit more tomorrow and a warm up into the weekend. Latest coming up.
And claims of a cover-up. The Buffalo Catholic Diocese is now facing a lawsuit from a man who says he's a survivor of priest sexual abuse. Why he says church leaders knew about the abuse all along.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 6.
The top story tonight at 6, Tonawanda Coke has been seeing quite a bit of controversy. Recently, the DEC ordered the company to shut down for air pollution concerns. Still, after a series of state violations and complaints from neighbors, the company argues they're working to fix the problems.
Now, 2 new violations have been tacked on to the corporation's long list of issues. Luke Marty has more information tonight in a News 4 Investigates report.
Tonawanda Coke Corporation is once again in the crosshairs of state environmental regulators, this time hit with 2 notices of violation by the State Department of Environmental Conservation. The first alleges that the opacity limit for Tonawanda Coke's heat stack has been exceeded, meaning the smoke is too dense.
Tonawanda Coke has not been a good neighbor.
Environmental activist Jackie James Creedon, director of Citizen Science Community Resources, wonders how much the company has done to correct the problem.
What we continue to see after the tunnel collapse a couple months ago is black soot smoke coming from their smokestack.
The DEC's second notice of violation alleges that the company failed to submit semi-annual reports as required by its permits.
I cannot understand why they are not reporting or submitting their reports on time. There's no excuses for that.
DEC officials declined to comment for this story. The most recent alleged violations are in addition to others filed against the company, which resulted in the DEC issuing a cease and desist order back in July. Tonawanda Coke is appealing the permit revocation order. An administrative hearing is set for October.
It's, again, not just the one incident, the 2 incidents, the incidences again and again and again and again. And we're just, as a community, we're really sick and tired of it.
The company has a history of legal troubles. Back in March 2013, Tonawanda Coke Corporation was convicted by a federal court jury of violating the Clean Air Act. Now the company is scheduled to return to federal court next week to determine if it violated a condition of the sentencing agreement. A petition filed by a U.S. probation officer states the company's conduct constitutes criminal violations of the Clean Air Act and its air permit. Tonawanda Coke officials did not respond to inquiries from News 4 Investigates. Luke Moretti, News 4.
A man who says he's an abuse survivor is suing the Buffalo Catholic Diocese, claiming the church and its leaders covered up sex abuse allegations. The lawsuit was filed today in state Supreme Court. It centers around allegations of abuse by Father Dennis Ryder.
News 4's Jen Shantz is hearing from one of the man's attorneys tonight. Jen?
Don, Father Dennis Ryder was put on leave in late March when the plaintiff, 33-year-old Matthew Golden, reported to the diocese that he was sexually abused by Ryder as a boy. 3 months later, Ryder returned to active ministry after he was cleared by a diocesan review board. He is currently pastor at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish in Dunkirk. Now, I spoke with Father Ryder tonight off camera. He tells me he never abused any child.
We now know there are more than 80 credibly accused offenders in this diocese.
A lawsuit filed Thursday morning in state Supreme Court wants their names, histories, and locations made public. A 33-year-old Buffalo man is suing the diocese for nuisance. The suit claims in the late 90s, Father Dennis Ryder engaged in, quote, unpermitted sexual contact with the then 10 to 13-year-old. It also claims that several years before that alleged abuse, the diocese received a letter that Ryder had sexually abused a boy at a parish in Lackawanna. Ryder, who was not on the list of 42 accused priests released by the diocese in March, denies these allegations. He says he has never abused a child. The lawsuit claims the diocese continues to conceal information about accused priests. It claims that concealment exposes an unknowing public to the threat of criminal activity. The plaintiff's attorneys want a judge to force Bishop Malone's hand.
What this lawsuit seeks to do is to stop that institution from protecting those offenders, from keeping their identities and their whereabouts secret.
In a statement, the diocese says it's received the lawsuit and will respond appropriately.
My suspicion is that the diocese will choose to combat this aggressively, as they have done in the past. I would be optimistic that there will be a change in that policy, that they would now choose to do the right thing, disclose this information, make everyone safer.
Now, according to the lawsuit, the diocese has 20 days to respond to this. Golden is not seeking any money from this suit. However, he is seeking money through a victims fund run by the diocese. His attorney tells me they haven't heard much about that, how much he could be compensated, or if he even will be compensated through that program. Jen Schatz, News 4.
You might find it hard to believe, but Erie County has a program offering interest-free loans, and there are no monthly payments.
It's a home repair program for low and moderate income homeowners. News 4's Al Vaughters is in the newsroom with what you need to know. Al?
Well, Christy and Don, it's called the Housing Rehabilitation Loan Program, and it's designed for, let's face it, those folks who are constantly catching flack from code enforcement officials about a missing roof shingle, tattered siding, or even lead paint or a furnace on the fritz and can't afford to fix it. The county provides interest-free loans up to $20,000 to fix the roof, replace the siding on your house, or replace your old hazardous wiring or leaky pipes. County officials tell us homeowners have to meet certain household income guidelines and live in one of the 34 towns and villages, including in the Community Development Block Grant Consortium, plus Lackawanna and the city of Tonawanda. It's a loan, but not a grant, but the loan doesn't come due until you sell your house.
It's a 0% interest rate loan that will never go higher. So if someone were to get a roof repaired and it's a $10,000 expense in 2018, the only way that when the county receives this money back is when the property is sold and there's transfer of title, because we will have a lien on the property for that amount of the repair. So whatever the amount of the repair was, that's the money that the county will receive back, and it flows back into the program.
Now, DeOrlando told us the program right now is strictly for repairs, not capital improvements, such as adding a dormer or remodeling a porch. You may be pleasantly surprised by the income guidelines for participating in the county's Housing Rehabilitation Loan Program. A family of 4 can earn nearly $60,000 a year and qualify. A family of 7, nearly $75,000. You can get more information on this county program at WIVB.com and click on the Found It on 4 tab. Al Vaughters, News 4 at 6.
Right now, the Buffalo Bills are getting ready to face the Chicago Bears in their final preseason game.
And we have a few positions that are still up in the air heading into tonight's game, and there's cuts coming just around the corner in a couple of days. News 4 Sports Director Josh Reed and WGR's 550 Sal Capaccio are standing by at Soldier Field. They join us live right now from the Windy City. Hi there, guys.
I need one. Hey there, guys. You know, no official word on what the Bills are going to do at quarterback just yet, but it was very interesting. About a little over an hour ago, almost 40 starters were out on the field getting in a serious workout. Among those players was Nate Peterman and Josh Allen. A.J. McCarron wasn't out here on the field. I'm not sure what that says, though.
Well, Sean McDermott's in a tough spot, Josh, because he hasn't revealed his starting quarterback, and maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. But if he only plays 2 quarterbacks tonight, I think that kind of tips everybody's hand in what's going to happen, because the guy who sits is probably the week 1 starter. So the way I've looked at it is either all 3 got to get time or just one. And if it's just one, the only one that wasn't out here getting that workout in was A.J. McCarron.
A.J. McCarron, that's exactly right. Is there one guy, one player heading into tonight's game that's maybe sitting on the bubble that is one big play away from being, hey, this guy is definitely on the roster now.
Well, I think Ray McCloud really fits this. The 6th-round draft pick, the rookie out of Clemson. But look, the wide receiver room is so competitive. I thought that he's pretty safe, but you never know. So I think maybe that one big play like you referred to, and that for him could come either on offense or in special teams. He's a punt returner. If Ray McCloud does something special tonight, I think he's an absolute lock. I still think he's safe, but a lot of competition in that wide receiver room.
It's going to be fun to watch how that wide receiver position shakes out. For Sal Capaccio, I'm Josh Reed. Back to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Still ahead at 6, new school year and a new set of nurses in the public schools. What parents should know about their students' care before they head back to class.